Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to day one of Outdoor Retailer Online. Typically, we would be together in Denver, kicking off this session at the Ranger Station. I'm really missing everyone and looking forward to seeing you again in January. But for now, we'll just go virtual and we'll just be flexible as we go through the presentation. I want to start off the presentation with a land acknowledgement. I am speaking to you from West Vancouver, the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam nations. I'd also like to say that we stand in solidarity with the Black, Indigenous, and people of color in the outdoor space and beyond. And after this live session, I hope you can join us for the OIA Industry Lunch, Thriving People and Building a Generation of Diverse Outdoors and Outdoor Industry Professionals. So let's get through, just start off with some quick housekeeping. Range is a creative agency dedicated to the active outdoor and lifestyle markets. I am the founder and creative director. We will be recording this session, just so everyone knows, there's a heads up. You'll have access to the recording about 1 hour after the live session ends on Outdoor Retailer Online and in the on-demand library. If you are a Horizon Report subscriber through Range, you'll also be receiving a PDF of this presentation this afternoon. Questions can be submitted through the Q&A box. They're private and they come to me directly. I will do my best to answer them at the end if I can get to them. If not, I will follow up with you via email. This is going to be a pretty long presentation. I'll try to keep it moving. Typically, this is something I would workshop with you in person for 2 to 3 hours. So we're going to just expedite the process and keep it fast and efficient. If you do want to reach out to me directly after this is over, you can email me at info@thisisrange. So what is the Horizon Report? It's a new product from our trend team here at Range. It is delivered via newsletter every Tuesday. It helps you stay miles ahead of the market, your goals, and your competitors. It's a clear blueprint of immediate cultural shifts, consumer insights, and creative direction. We say that it's what to watch, why it matters, and exactly how to take action. So the 3 trends we're going to be examining today and talking a little bit more about are offline online shift, sustain the future, and together in wellness. This is more of a snapshot of trends that are influencing the market short and long term. We see these trends as something that has lasting impact. If you'd like to receive more intel on these trends and our newsletter itself, you can sign up at our website, which is thisisrange.com. So our first trend, offline online shift, is going to examine new digital frontiers we find ourselves navigating as we shift from a completely IRL to URL world. So the idea of a fully online world still seemed like the future, and now the future is here. When making the strategic shift to virtual, it's clear our industry is figuring out how to pivot from IRL to URL much faster than expected. You'll need to respond quickly, integrate the right tools, and go above and beyond to support consumers. Maintaining confidence through this transition will be the key to your success. So usually we like to start with some data to support each of the trends. So in 2018, Shopify launched Shopify AR, empowering merchants to produce 3D models for augmented reality experiences. Since they've launched this new tool, it has increased conversion by up to 250% for their users. So consumers are willing to make a purchase based on having this ability to see products in 3D. Out of 88% of Americans have reported a better appreciation of the role technology has played in helping culture during the coronavirus crisis. So the beta, this is pretty much the intel that supports this market trend. So DTC marketing, online shopping, and retail shifts challenge the traditional trade show model and showroom strategy. Social commerce platforms will be the newest option for reaching Gen Z. And many brands will be testing a variety of replacements for brick and mortar and doubling down on their existing online retail features. So let's get into it here. This is where we're going to start to really go through all the different examples that support this market trend. So tailored AR and VR presentations will become a must. Now that we're doing pretty much everything online, including showing product to media and buyers, we have to be able to adopt these new tools. So for example, ASIC shipped out sets of Oculus Quest headsets to journalists for a new hologram presentation of their sneaker models. We're also seeing this concept of elevated user engagement when it comes to communicating with consumers. So bots and AI aren't really cutting it when it comes to answering questions and connecting with consumers directly, especially when they're feeling really disconnected right now. So during a time when we need to be making more of a connection, store assistants are going directly to WeChat to message customers and complete purchases. Virtual showrooms are expanding to protect wholesale business. So wholesale marketplace Jor actually did 250% more sales volume than expected during the recent Milan and Paris fashion weeks, showing promise for future seasons. Live stream shopping is already massively popular in China. Key players are Yezhibo and the Pinterest mashup known as Red, and Alibaba's Taobao Live, which saw a 700% surge in brand participation in February. The US needs to go further than Amazon Live or Facebook Marketplace Live, which are based on basic QVC models, combining true entertainment with shoppable add-ons for younger audiences. DTC Live is a live stream shopping network where consumers can tune in, ask questions, and shop products featuring athletes, celebrities, and influencers. Taking it one step further, social commerce is delivering big time. Shoptainment Pioneer Network is launching Transfer, a 2-day digital street culture and design festival with exclusive product drops and an extensive program of real-time experiential content. Virtual try-on tech is still in its infancy as bespoke clothing brands are building personalized 3D services. But the fashion app Forma lets users upload a single photo avatar while browsing thousands of outfits so they can try on any outfit instantly. New tools that help online shoppers get a realistic look at looks will play a role in conversion. Zoom Look's cloud-based ultra-high-res photographic virtual reality also tracks data on the most inspected items. AR features enable users to digitally try on shoes and apparel, and that will segue to social. Snapchat wants to position itself as the next social commerce platform to watch with new voice search applications. AR and VR technology can practically bring nature to life. So we're rethinking the divide between nature and technology. Using scientific location-based data and AR navigation apps like View Ranger, we can create seamless guides for enhanced engagement by transforming our mobile devices into interactive maps. So this is also going to affect the way we explore outside, not just the way we shop and consume. A recent study published in Frontiers of Psychology concluded that nature exposure in VR can provide emotional well-being benefits for people who cannot access the outdoors, which is fascinating because if you think about it, if we're all stuck at home, how are we really getting outside? The Hidden Worlds of National Parks by Google Arts and Culture are virtual tours which encourage users to explore glaciers in the Kenai Forests in Alaska, volcanoes in Hawaii, basically accesses national parks all over the world and gives users the opportunity to zoom in, explore, and experience those in real life. New advances in online workouts, in-home connected fitness mirrors, and high-end live stream cycling hit peak active during quarantine. More than 23,000 people tuned in during Peloton's largest class ever. Lululemon acquired the at-home fitness startup Mirror for $500 million, cementing their position as next-gen active streaming service. Endurance sports like cycling and triathlons are making the jump to the digital world as well. The usage of Zwift, an interactive cycling game, has doubled throughout quarantine and even powered this year's virtual Tour de France, Next up, apparently, is the Olympics. Ironman has also partnered with Ruvi on a virtual race for its triathletes. Culture is game, and suddenly everyone's a player, ushering in the future of fashion, creation, sports, music, and performance. Travis Scott held a virtual concert in Fortnite, drawing in over 12 million viewers and surpassing previous in-game concert events in terms of visual scope, really kind of pushing the boundaries of how we engage with fans and consumers virtually and even in these artificial environments like video games. Virtual worlds and simulated realities have become the nexus of modern collaboration. Reflected by a multiplayer-inspired approach to everything right now, streetwear and outdoor enthusiasts are recreating iconic outerwear pieces, crafting tools, and making their own products tagged with Animal Crossing designs for the incredibly popular game Animal Crossing. Gaming is also proving to be a resource for education and therapy. In a recent landmark decision, the FDA approved a prescription video game for kids with ADHD called Endeavor RX to improve their attention span. So not only are we navigating new ways to connect through entertainment, we're also thinking about video games as a new tool for therapy and learning. We're finally getting serious about applying the science of motivation to environmental activism, habit change reward platforms, and yes, actual video games. Walden, a Game, is a contemplative video game adaptation of Henry David Thoreau's masterpiece centered on aimless virtual wandering, journaling, and peaceful observation. Loving this intersection of nature and video games. Playing nature can also demonstrate a mirrored world with a less positive outcome. So this game, Climb & Trail, which is inspired by the very iconic game, the Oregon Trail, that a lot of us are maybe familiar with, challenges players to survive consequences of climate change on a 1,000-mile journey north, accompanied by characters supplying critical scientific information. And essentially the goal of the game is to see if you can survive this journey north in the midst of this very doom and gloom episodic climate moment. So why does this matter? An accelerated pivot to virtual relationships with vendors, buyers, and media will be a future-proof strategy. Reallocating resources to test next generation digital retail tech and live social commerce strategies will have ROI even after doors reopen. By adopting new methods of entertainment and education, brands can utilize gaming platforms to keep existing customers engaged and tap into a global audience. Video games and digital immersive tools can provide creative tactics to bridge the divide between technology and the environment. Our second trend is called Sustain the Future. A recent article from the UN said that COVID-19 is not a magic bullet for climate change. It's time to make the transition to considered consumers as brands with an Earth-first mentality thrive. With the opportunity for both hindsight and foresight, we can course correct decades of a broken supply chain that creates more waste than saleable product. By creating this impactful change, we can close the loop on people, product, and planet. So let's get into some data here. So 95% of domestic waste clothing could be reworn, reused, or recycled, according to Greenpeace. And in 2018, the market size of voluntary offsets, that's carbon offsets, was almost $300 million, showing that consumers are really interested in exploring the carbon offset opportunities. So let's get into the beta. Dismantling the entire system and focusing on climate-sincere strategies will ensure our future. Truly reshaping the online market, repurpose, rewear, and recycle reminds us of the possibilities of an environmentally aware world. We can definitely tap into new opportunities for circular design, regenerative agriculture, and viable material innovations by harnessing this intel. Most consumers are confused about greenwashing. 87% of millennials and Gen Z who want to alter their buying habits to reduce environmental impact are turning to green buying guides and shopping platforms such as Wear Well, Good On You, and Compare Ethics to do the vetting for them. Tapping into tech, tools to inform more mindful purchasing decisions are gaining momentum. A new app by ThredUp and Green Story called the Fashion Footprint Calculator will estimate the carbon footprint of your closet based on how you shop and take care of clothing. Brands are pushing back against carbon neutral labels based solely on carbon offsets, a future promise that doesn't pay off right away, in favor of a true audit of every product's lifestyle cycle emissions. Pangaea recently partnered with Sea Trees to restore, plant, and protect coastal mangroves, which are up to 5 times more effective at storing carbon. Products need packaging, obviously, but wasteful packaging is not going out of fashion. But wasteful packaging is going out of fashion, thanks to refill programs, turn-in discounts for empties, and brands sacrificing profit for higher price but compostable options. A Better Source created a directory of environmentally conscious packaging resources for designers and small businesses. Sustainable brands are unlocking sourcing at scale with fully biodegradable denim, entirely vertical silk supply chains, and locally grown hemp. Levi's is launching their most sustainable jean yet, made with organic cotton and circulose, which is a breakthrough material made from recycled jeans themselves, proving that we can really start to look at our waste and offsets and using them more effectively. Founded by the National Geographic explorer Michaela Wujek and Naomi Blackman, Alder offers inclusive sizing, female-focused design, as well as sustainable and ethical production practices. So this is a new brand that I've just popped up on my radar that I'm really excited about. Based in Los Angeles, Shiner Goods is building out a line of natural hemp and organic cotton for adventure adventure apparel for women, featuring their signature Send It pant. So this is a really good example of brands closing the loop on people, product, and planet. They're talking here about intersectionality, sustainability, and ethics all at the same time. Positioned at the intersection of environmental activism and social justice, inclusive environmentalism advocates for both the protection of people and the planet. This new initiative, founded by Leah Thomas, is being adopted by brands, influencers, and content creators in the outdoor and active space. Repair, rewear, and recycle programs were step 1. Step 2 is creating your own marketplace for products so good you can sell them twice. A few of our favorite programs include the North Face's Close the Loop initiative and Patagonia's Recrafted collection, literally remaking garments from discarded or gently used product. To encourage and promote the use of reclaimed materials, a new kind of design-driven rewear is making the rounds. Greater Goods, a London-based design project dedicated to sustainability, will combine damaged goods and remnants from brands like Arc'teryx and the North Face to make new products, including totes and jackets. So this is also something that I haven't really seen a lot of before, where someone is combining products from multiple different brands into a single item. DIY fashion programs can be a point of connection with younger audiences, as well as an outlet for dead stock material. Upcycling influencers like Nicole McLaughlin cement her status as a brand champion via co-branded collaborations with Crocs Sent to Lunch in fall. Upcycling gives consumers opportunities to help tell your story in a unique way. Placing their IP directly in the hands of the customer, a Cold Walls Service Point 1 project is an online catalog of buckles, adjusters, zipper pulls, draw cords, and stoppers that are available for use at home. So they're encouraging consumers to purchase hardware in order to make products at home for themselves. Really kind of a bold move, but definitely something I've never seen before and quite inventive. Emotionally durable products embed sustainability and encourage hand-me-down culture. Communicating the value of sustainability through lifetime ownership should be a priority. That's why Snow Peak is labeling their Takibi products as legacy grade. It also creates an incredible emotional connection to product, which I think is a key tenet of sustainability we don't usually talk about. As consumers have quickly changed the way they shop and cook, they're also looking for similar connections to where and how apparel products are made. Houdini made the connection between agriculture and apparel clear by making compost from worn-out sportswear. Again, I've never seen this before. Then using the soil to grow vegetables that they then served at a local restaurant, really closing the loop on their vertical supply chain and their entire manufacturing process. Made to order could be the key to making less. Activewear brand Ultracore is scaling the model for speed and accessibility through a focus on in-house manufacturing and smarter applications of technology, making on-demand clothing faster and more accessible. They're not the only brand doing this, but they're one of the only brands doing it in the activewear space. Made to order is really not necessarily something that's quick to be adopted, and this is definitely a new frontier to explore for brands that are looking to really cut back costs and overhead when it comes to production. Probably more likely to be adopted by DTC brands and the wholesale model, obviously, but it's definitely something worth thinking about. To solve end-of-life waste, we need to start at the beginning with materials like Kintra, the only 100% compostable high-performance synthetic fiber, or fully traceable advances in zero-impact leathers. Allbirds plans to redefine the playbook on sustainability by co-creating a performance shoe with the lowest carbon emissions with Adidas. Trove, formerly Yurtle, is a white label resale operation business handling logistics and pricing for e-commerce brand platforms. Trove's platform encourages consumers to place their old garments back into circulation and to stimulate the sharing economy. This is a great partner for smaller emerging brands that are looking to grow their offerings when it comes to rewear or repair, and they take on a bulk of the work in the back end tech, which has proven to be really useful and helpful for people. So why this matters? Long-term goals for sustainability are essential, but consumers want to hear about steps you're taking right now. Gen Z values individuality and they don't like waste. 30% of them have taken up entirely new hobbies during the pandemic, and this would be a really great opportunity to support them when it comes to rewear, DIY, and repurposing and recycling or upcycling their own apparel. By preparing for future sustainability standards and getting ahead of consumer demand, we can lead the way with an investment in pioneering green tech and solutions. And our third and final trend is together and wellness. Mental health has never been more important than it is right now, and our well-being is critical to both society and the global economy. Mindfulness, meditation, working out, and getting outside boosts your mood and produces more serotonin. Our core instinct is to get outside because we crave the calming effects of nature, movement, and socialization. But as the shelter in place continues and weather warms up, it's crucial we remain socially responsible, following best practices outlined by experts. "82% of those who went outdoors for the first time during the coronavirus plan to stay engaged in outdoor activities when restrictions lift," according to CGPR. And 48% of Gen Z surveyed respondents want brands to address access to mental health resources to help consumers during COVID. So this is a really big pivot. This isn't just about sustainability either. This is literally about emotional and mental health and support and well-being. The wellness of your consumers and your staff translates into the wellness of the greater community. Investing in strategies to support mental and physical health should take an integrated approach that will have long-term benefits. Nature deficit disorder is real, but spending as little as 15 minutes in the outdoors has been shown to reduce stress levels and provide quick fix healing. So how are we giving consumers the opportunity how are we giving consumers the opportunity to experience the outdoors from the comforts of their own home? And what does that really look like right now? While we're training our brains to be happier, we're also seeing the long-term benefits of mindful running. A practice District Vision champions as an especially unique opportunity to experience silence during social distancing, while Tracksmith has created a Slack channel for Boston runners to stay connected. We're also looking into alternative forms of recovery, and plant-based CBD topicals, superfood supplements, and adaptogens are gaining traction as a new alternative for training, recovery, and restoration. Hana One and newly launched Hatchi are geared toward active bodies: hikers, bikers, surfers, runners, paddleboarders, and yogis. Brands may be slashing their overall influencer marketing budgets, but meditation teachers have suddenly emerged as must-have hires. We can't think of a better use of virtual meditation than this one from the New York Times, which taps into the healing power of getting outside, even when you can't. As a Service, or AAS, has become a catch-all for everything, and mental health support is now #1 on the list for both startups and product brands focused on a younger audience. Somersault, a swimwear startup, is transforming its regular customer service channels into an opportunity to provide emotional support via text message. So it just goes to show you how much consumers are leaning into the relationships they have established with brands to provide, this extra additional service that seems, to be adding quite a bit of value to the experience to them. Museums and film festivals reacted quickly to online access, and brands have the opportunity to keep the creativity flowing by driving user-generated content with inventive calls to action. Peak Design came up with ongoing prompts to source content and entertain their fans through a stay-at-home film fest and photo series. Movement-based fitness is emerging as an essential form of quarantine engagement. Ryan Heffington's dance classes ignited a new wave of much-needed music-heavy services like professionally DJ'd 305 Fitness or the Freeform Dance Church, held every Sunday via FaceTime for an audience of 10,000 people. Yoga with Adriene started out as a Facebook group, but now has over 7.27 million subscribers, a paid platform, and a highly specific class like Yoga After Disaster. Neo, the Netflix of fitness, just released Neo Kids with classes specifically designed for youths ages 6 to 12, along with a roster of about 1,500 other workouts for as little as $8.25 a month. So we're seeing a huge range of individuals, from kids all the way up through adults, subscribing to these new on-demand active resources. With sales for outdoor categories increasing by up to 500%, people are definitely itching to get outside. REI and a coalition of nonprofits, recreation businesses, and agencies have come together to summarize and amplify the emerging best practices, laying out 6 simple guidelines at recreateresponsibly.org. Snow Peak hosted an at-home campout, complete with campout kits over Memorial Day weekend, proving how determined the outdoor industry is to come together, even virtually. Bringing camp furniture into the home, REI just announced a timely partnership with West Elm, making it easier to recharge in the outdoors from the comfort of our own backyards. We're also learning to appreciate the simplicity of a life lived well in our own yards, neighborhoods, and local parks. Online searches for window gardens, seeds, vermicomposting, which are worm farms, and backyard beekeeping, courtesy of IKEA, are on the rise. And antiviral innovations will be the next big thing for materials. Under Armour designed a 3-layer sports mask treated with Pro TX2, a non-metal antimicrobial technology that inhibits the growth of bacteria and has been shown in labs to destroy COVID-19. So I can't even begin to imagine what this new frontier of antivirals will look like when it comes to performance materials. And I do believe that the active and outdoor industry will pave the way to a lot of the developments that we will see influencing ready to wear and fashion as well. So why does this matter? 65% of workers feel their employer isn't offering benefits or programs that support or improve their mental well-being. By tapping into the wellness benefits of the collective movement, we can launch a brand platform for consumers to rally around via personal fitness. Brands have a unique opportunity to bring the outdoors indoors by creating engaging outdoor experiences through digital campaigns and virtual activations. And that wraps up the trend portion of this, and I'm available to answer questions. We've had a few come in now that I'd love to address. So Pro X2 has not been approved by the EPA yet. It's actually being tested right now, and they will be releasing statements on that going forward. There's also a copper fiber that has been being worked on by an Israeli material company that is being combined with cotton that will also inhibit the growth of bacteria associated with COVID as well. That's under examination. Someone had a question about Alder. With the $50 tank top, how can this brand and others like it, Thinking Girlfriend Collective and Reformation, do better about being more inclusive? $50 for a tank top is extremely exclusionary, especially to Black, Indigenous people of color. How can companies like this do better to stop passing on the cost of eco-friendly products to consumers? I think that will come down to more mainstream adoption of some of these eco-friendly products and materials. Really, it'll come back to the supply chain and cost for manufacturing at the end of the day. So the more people starting to adopt these more environmentally or eco-friendly options, the easier it will be to control the supply chain, and the price will come down ultimately. I do believe that Robin Hall's asking, are we seeing kids influencing the way their parents shop, more sustainable purchases, for example? I haven't seen any data to support that, but my gut tells me yes, because we know that Gen Z specifically is really progressive and really, really sensitive to climate change. So we know that they're very vocal about the products they consume and what they expect from brands from a value perspective. So I can only imagine that will influence consumer purchases within the family as well. And is there any data about purchasing behavior of people of color? There is a Nielsen report that came out recently within the last 2 years that is reflective of purchasing power of people of color. It is, it's called I have it right here, the Black Impact Consumer Report, and you can find that on Nielsen.com. For anyone asking where they can sign up for the newsletter, you can sign up on www.thisisrange. And if there's any additional questions, you can let me know. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the information and this presentation. Again, I did go through it pretty quickly. We will be able to dig into it a little bit deeper in the future, and I really appreciate everyone tuning in today. I hope you can tune in for the next session, again, I mentioned earlier, is the OIA Industry Lunch, Thriving People, Building a Generation of Diverse Outdoors and Outdoor Industry Professionals. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.